Verdasco, see how early he read that serve or anticipated it, wanting a forehand, but maybe that's an indication of the breeze, Baz.
And maybe it just didn't come through as quickly as he thought.
That looked like a terrible error, and it was to an extent, but Verdasco really did knife that return back, and the ball shot through. It's another break point for the Spaniard. Now, what's going to happen on this second serve? Well, the same thing happened on the second serve, but this time a totally different outcome. Brilliantly worked point for Verdasco to secure an early break.
And no wonder his team's delighted. I mean, what a stunning game this was. You can't exactly say if you're Goffin, well, I dropped my serve. Didn't do anything wrong. It was just incredible tennis from Verdasco. Now is the next step. Can he keep this? And what's I think interesting, Dan, from today and also the other day is, although he's hit the 8 winners and we're praising the power, not every shot he's looked to hit has been at maximum power. He's been happy to sort of work his points, which also tells me physically he feels he can go deep into the rally. It looks like that the hard work has been done in the off season.
Love 30. He'll kick himself for that. Created the opening with another good wide serve.
That's where Goffin is very, very good. He has the ability to neutralise with good returns, put it in difficult positions.
$15-13.
Great angle to show, you know, just because you generate pace, you don't have to go close to the net. You know, plenty of height.
$15-14. Again, despite that winner count for Verdasco, Goffin going back to the forehand. He doesn't believe that Fernando can keep it up. Being proved right at the moment. 2 break back points. That was 30-40. Partly down to the vicious spin Verdasco managed to generate on this second serve. Maybe also a bit of a gust. Either way. Rosed. Left. First serve. Juice. And that wide serve on the advantage side, on the left side, paying dividends for the Spaniard. Back to Juice. Second serve.
That has been his Achilles heel, the double faults on the second serve.
Well, as long as there's more aces than double faults, then it's all right. Now, threading the needle down the line, Goffin.
Advantage, Goffin.
Easy power, wasn't it? Maybe just anticipating that particular backhand going cross court. Got behind the ball brilliantly, Goffin. My goodness me, Dan. I mean, he did incredibly well, Goffin, I mean, it was slightly fortuitous, that return, but the serve was brilliant.
I thought that was going to go out. Maybe Verdasco did too, so what he produced here, extra special. How good's your forehand, Fernando? Not bad.
Mr. Verdasco. Challenge to the court, left baseline. The ball's called out.
Seems a hopeful challenge, doesn't it?
Call stands. Advantage, Goffin. Mr. Verdasco has 2 challenges remaining.
Fourth break point coming up then for the Belgian. Another fantastic second serve, setting that forehand approach up.
And that pass from Goffin very nearly ended up in. I mean, it was a long, as he hit it, it was going a long way wide, but the wind was just...
The wind and the... Just... Great game to get out of if he can finish it off here. Chances are this one's going to go out wide again. This time, it's another ace. That's 3. Battles through that service game. 12 winners and 4-1 up.
Verdasco leads by 4 games to 1.
Much what you guys have been talking about. I mean, very impressive from Verdasco, isn't it? I mean, certainly it's very clear that he has the biggest shot on the court. I think the wind, you know, you guys were talking about the wind. I think at the moment, certainly it's not particularly severe, but it certainly for me feels as though it's behind Verdasco's now. From this end, it's definitely coming from right to left as I see it, going down into Goffin's face a little bit. So, and it's definitely the breeziest day so far, without a doubt.
Love 15.
It's just important, Nick, for Goffin that he hasn't played badly. That was only his second error. That he almost has to think, well, ask the question, can Fernando keep this level going? You don't want to start chasing, do you?
No, that's right, and I think he knows that. Certainly Thierry Van Klimpert is just next to me on the right-hand side. When he got broken, actually, he just kind of nodded his head and said it's too good. So I don't think, as you say, Goffin's not done too much wrong so far.
That's a shot
15-30.
I feel has improved a lot in recent years because he's played more doubles. That would have won him the point singles or doubles.
Legs. First serve.
If I was playing on the net against him, I'd have moved across and post that in double, so not necessarily a winner.
Were you a speed machine at the net, were you?
Yeah. Go, gadget arms. Okay, dangerous times here for Goffin in this opening set.
Oh, it's rough. Because of course he gets a first serve because Verdasco broke a string. Or was it frame? Or both.
It's certainly very low, yeah.
That's a string, Nick.
I like that play from Goffin because that was a very heavy ball, but he refused to be pushed back. And again, it's not an easy height for him. It's coming in at head height almost. There was a lot of height on that ball, a lot of spin, but just held his ground. Relies on his such good timing off that backhand.
Dropping on the first serve in this game now. 1 out of 5, and that's largely now resulted in the break point to go double breakdown.
Game, Verdasco.
Well, that was a poor game from Goffin, there's no doubt, but Fernando Verdasco is seeing the ball like a beach ball at the moment.
It was a poor game, wasn't it? The last couple of points, a couple of errors, but I think the great work that Verdasco has done in the opening 5 games, I think helped contributed to those errors that Goffin probably felt he needed to do more. He was wary of how devastating the forehand has been.
What a return from Goffin. No right to get that ball back, but did just that and made it difficult for Verdasco.
Bearing in mind last year, Verdasco only won 2 matches in 14 against top 20 opposition.
Just a little flatter. Love Goffin and didn't allow Verdasco quite so much time on the forehand of those 2 or 3 balls.
Backhand's been rock solid. We talked a lot about how good the forehand has been with those 6 winners, but the backhand hasn't really given anything away.
Who thought this set was done and dusted? Not that man.
Ah! 30-14.
Fantastic temperament as Goffin. Yes, he does get frustrated sometimes, but by and large, ice cool. He's hit all these winners, as we know, that's 14 in total now, but some of them have been just different completely. You know, heavy topspin, flat, cross court, inside out.
Advantage, Goffin.
Still got to be wary there when if you give Goffin a backhand up the line like that and you do leave a fair bit of court open. That's without that I think his favourite shot.
Juice.
Hasn't come to terms with that shot though, has he? Serve out wide.
Yeah, when that hits, it's such a tough serve to return. I know you said you struggled with lefty serves, but for a right-hander on the backhand side, obviously that's even tougher, I think. And that's the version from the advantage side, sorry, from the deuce side. And another unreturnable first serve from Fernando Verdasco gives him his first set point. That'll do it. A Goffin error, giving the man.
Second set, Goffin to serve.
Verdasco, a new man.
Oh, I like that, Barry.
But I will say, as impressed as I've been in the opening set, there's still baggage in his mind. I mean, you can't get rid of what's happened the last couple of years just by clicking your fingers. So there will be a little bit of doubt at some stage in this second set. So that's why Goffin's just got to try and stay as competitive as he can. You know, given their big match experience in the last year or two, if it got tight, you would certainly lean towards the Belgian. But can he get tight? Can he get to a position of 4 or 5 all?
49.
That was a 1-2 punch that we've seen Verdasco use to great effect. This time it was Goffin that had a nice wide serve followed up by a pretty straightforward winning forehand. Yeah, Fernando's happy with that. And Richard Haig, the umpire, just waiting to see whether he was going to challenge.
First game, second
not
set.
to.
So much of the story of the opening set was how devastating this Verdasco forehand was, and rolling back the years, and it's what a good job he had done in the opening set. 78% of his forehands are gone to the backhand of Goffin, but Goffin was often on the stretch. So Verdasco was going with power, length, and also a lot of width. We see some of those winners around the service box with 4 of those yellow balls. And also had a nice blend as well of changing it up, occasionally go down the line, but also tight to the line. Goffin would have felt that throughout that first set that he was on the move. He wasn't able to get control of the rallies.
I think you all expect Goffin to up it now somehow. In this second set, number 11 in the world, seeded number 4 here, best season he's had on tour last season. And he is such a great competitor. You do get the feeling that he's at least going to try and find a way to get the better of Fernando.
That's good. He didn't have too many options, to be honest, in the opening set, but try and go big if you can on the return. First point.
really should have been a very straightforward put away from Verdasco.
15-30.
Just ended up prodding at that forehand volley.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he got that as wrong as he did there, Verdasco. And how pivotal a point could that be?
Oh, no mistake that time. Goffin, though, with another opportunity as a
30
passing
all.
shot.
And Nick, we talk about Goffin as being a great mover, but he doesn't know where this forehand's going, does he?
No, but I mean, you have to say the lob was begging here, wasn't it? He was so tight on the net here, Verdasco. I just don't think Goffin perhaps anticipated that, because the lob was the obvious shot. Didn't even have to be that good. His nose was over the top of the net.
And with what you're saying as well, he's against the wind.
Yeah, he's definitely...
So he had plenty of room to hit that lob into.
Yeah. Just sometimes, and I've noticed this over the years with Verdasco, when he's has to move to his left on the forehand like that, sometimes he just doesn't quite get behind the ball, does he? It's 2 or 3 times now, it's just been purely reliant on his hand skills.
How fast was that serve, Nick?
That was, if I look up to my screen here.
I think the speed gun's broken,
It
isn't it?
has, yeah. There's nothing on the screen.
That's why I asked Nick, I couldn't see anything.
He also has Fernando Verdasco as the 42nd seed up on the scoreboard, so there might be a slight problem there.
Well, how hard did it feel to you?
Say again?
How hard did that serve feel?
Yeah, that was
to you?
pacey, but as I say, he is definitely downwind there, which is obviously adding to a bit of the pace.
When he hits a flat one, you can get it up to 130 plus.
Game, Verdasco.
That's just enormous.
Yeah, and that's why
One
at
game
times
all.
it was difficult to fathom out why he had the yips on the serve, because the motion is beautiful. It's such an elegant service motion, it's loose. You would think there's not a lot that can go wrong with it.
Oh, there's all sorts that can go wrong in the head, though, Barry, right? And
But often it starts with the technique, and then that affects your psychology.
$15 love.
That's not a Goffin
59.
type shot. Usually someone who hits the right shot at the right time, and he wasn't balanced to change direction there.
$30-50.
Beautifully guided by
40-50.
Goffin. It's easy to push these, isn't it? Got to hit through it still.
That's class. Because it's so
Yeah,
easy
Goffin.
to lift your head on that low ball.
And a fairly comfortable hold
Goffin leads
from the
by 2 games
Belgian.
to 1.
Keeps his nose in front in this second set.
The wind has definitely picked up, guys, as well in the last 10 minutes.
Advantage Verdasco.
Goffin will be disappointed not to have made that return. He's going to have many opportunities, and I think he'll count that as one that he really should have got back in play.
Game, Verdasco.
And that one too good. Again, 2-2, second set.
2 games all.
And mentally, it's been a strong start for Verdasco. We were wondering whether he could keep the same high level that he had in the opening set. So far, he has done. Goffin will also be delighted that he hasn't let Verdasco get away from him. Nick, has Goffin changed the height of his shots at all?
No, certainly not noticeably. Anyway, I mean, I think he's clearly trying to, as you say, just step in a little bit more, trying to hit the ball a little bit flatter, but again, it's all about where he has the time to do that.
30. 30-15.
It's not like Goffin to give those cheap points away. Still not completely settled.
It's just his first error of the set.
There's one shot in that round where I thought it was going to give Verdasco the impetus, one that drifted deep onto the baseline, but Goffin dealt with it really, really well in the end and composed himself well enough to regain control. Well, I don't know if that was the best drop shot Verdasco
40-13
can hit, but lovely lob to finish the point, Barry.
Not normally a tactic you would say that he'd be able to execute against someone like Goffin, but stunning lob, wasn't it? Used the wind to good effect.
This time it's Verdasco who has control of the rally right from the return and takes full advantage, and yet another winner. Count them, 20 in total.
Well, on this form, you wouldn't swap his forehand for anyone, would you? He got away with that, Goffin, but he did brilliantly to create the shorter ball, and then it was almost like either the ball just checked or he was a little unsure where he wanted to go, Nick.
Yeah, I don't think the ball came through to Verdasco quite as much as he thought it was coming to either. That's why he missed it. He almost kind of swung at it a little bit too soon.
Did the wind check, or did he just not quite get his feet
on
there?
Verdasco or Goffin?
Goffin.
No, I just think there was no pace on it, was there? So I think he just couldn't generate.
Cheers.
It's one thing that Murray does better than any other player, isn't it? Just throws in some balls on purpose with very little pace. It takes a huge amount of confidence in your own ability and
your own
awareness.
speed as well,
Yeah.
that you could chase down potentially any shot that's coming next.
Oh, that's really sweet from the Belgian. He's battling hard out there. He's not firing all cylinders, but he's doing his damnedest.
He's also not far down of turning this around. You feel it could just be 1 or 2 points, maybe an error or two from Verdasco. I think it's really compelling set of tennis, because it's Goffin's trying hard to hang in there.
And as we all know from the last couple of years, you still do get the sense with Fernando that a bad game is somewhere around the corner, don't you?
You do.
Okay, Goffin.
Well, you wouldn't describe that as a bad game, but it does go the way of Goffin. 3-2 he leads in this second set. Verdasco, though, a setup.
Goffin leads by 3 games to 2.
I agree with you, Dan, but I would say it was a bad have gone to the backhand, but it's also the accuracy. He's gone there with pace, he's gone there with real intent, and then that, because Goffin's on the stretch a bit on the return, he's then able to use his forehand early on in the rally.
But also keeping Goffin honest by throwing in a decent number of serves to the other corner of the service box.
15.
I still feel that he has hit a couple of good serves to the forehand, but I think you just got to take that away, the wide serve and the one down the middle on the due side. Make him think.
And that was one of the ones keeping him honest. Yes, he missed it, but it's still going to play in Goffin's mind. Died on Verdasco. He was a long way back though, wasn't he, Nick? Nick Lester is watching courtside for us.
Yeah, classic. It was big time use of the wind there, because that was, you said, that just held up. It just, once it hit the ground, it just really didn't come through at all here.
Wicked slice back from Verdasco. Then let's just go down to Nick and maybe give us an idea of just how tough that is to deal with.
It is, but I still think he's kind of goading Goffin to go for that one down the line, isn't he? It's a low ball, he's trying to take the ball over the high part of the net. Why not just roll that one back cross court in that situation? Just perhaps, whatever it is, on the bad shot selection.
30.
Definitely picked that server, didn't he? Just a little further to his left.
Is he starting to be a bit more vocal with himself, Verdasco?
Yes, definitely.
The pressure's building, isn't it, on his end?
There's rumblings, definitely.
And he just used all the pace generated from that Verdasco's forehand, and this one was all about accuracy in the end.
He sort of held, he anticipated where that forehand was likely to go. He didn't overcommit there, Goffin.
There's a There's a chance for him, sorry, Barry. Break point.
Juice.
Just going back to his favourite out wide serve. Needed that first serve. He's dreadful percentage on points won on second serve in this set has Verdasco.
Found the first serve. And look at the baseline rallies. One first set compared to second set. Verdasco won 16 out of 31 set in the second set. There's a subtle change. Goffin 17-9, so it's become even more important. He's got to serve well. But you've got to feel down at some stage there will be a game where he does miss a few first serves, and Goffin then is playing well enough to get the break. Less winners as well. 15 winners. Well, in set 1 in 7 games, and only 5 so far in the second set.
For me, as far as Verdasco is concerned, this is managing expectations now because of how well he played, how sweetly he was hitting the ball, and all those winners he's hit in the first set. But you know what? I don't think it's a given that Verdasco is going to play a poor game. Yeah, I'm a little bit more visceral in my analysis than you and Nick. I just got a feeling that he's a very confident man at the moment.
30-15.
And I think he is probably managing those expectations fairly well at the moment. I might have to bow to your greater knowledge on this, but seeing what I saw yesterday, I have a good feeling about him. There might still be some people waiting for us to enlighten them as to the celebrity connection for Fernando Verdasco.
You went quiet on us.
Anna Boya. I'll tell you after this point. Big occasion here. 3-all, 30-all, second serve. Oh, that's bad.
40-30.
He's going to have to deal with that and deal with it quickly. Juice. Disappointing again from Goffin. I'll put you out of your misery then. Anna Boya, who is the girlfriend of Fernando Verdasco, is the half-sister of Enrique Iglesias.
Half-sister? You didn't say half-sister the other day. You said sister. So
I didn't say sister. You were the guys up here saying sister.
You only told us half the truth, Nick Lester.
That is superb, absolutely superb from Verdasco, given the importance of that point.
Glorious tennis. Loved the couple of slice backhands because they were tough shots to deal with, but just to stay in the rally, bide his time, and then that short cross-court forehand doing damage.
First break point this set. You're just waiting for him to pull the trigger on that forehand. He bided his time in that rally. Yet another winner. And Verdasco has the break he was looking for. He's a set and 4-3 up against the number 4 seed.
Verdasco leads by 4 games to 3.
Is descending. Just over an hour on court, and Fernando Verdasco is set and 4-3 up against David Goffin with a break.
Mr. Verdasco challenging the call. Left centre service
He's got
line.
to take that serve away.
The ball's called out.
He's got to hope it's wide.
Ball overturns. 15 love.
Is that 1-2 millimeters? Three millimeters, I'm told.
13 love.
A game of the smallest margins these days with Hawkeye and its accuracy.
First double of the match.
For Verdasco, yes. And he hasn't been serving dollies on that second serve either.
No milk floats.
Goffin's turn now to slam a winner. I just wonder if that combination of double fault and then winner for Goffin will be the fillip that he needs to get back in this. He was being so aggressive, wasn't he, in that point, Goffin?
40-30.
Well, early on in the match, that particular shot, he hit a beautiful backhand down the line. I was surprised he actually ran round the backhand to hit the forehand there, Goffin.
Yeah, that ball was so low as well. It was so difficult to be aggressive with a ball like that.
Because the advantage you've got with the two-handers, you can use the left hand, which he does brilliantly, Goffin.
Full swing, pretty much a half volley on the baseline, indication of confidence that Verdasco has now. And why not? 6-1, 5-3 up against a player ranked number 11 in the world who just a few days. When was it actually that Goffin beat Andy Murray in the exhibition in Abu Dhabi?
Friday, wasn't it? It's the semi-finals, I think it was Friday. And then he lost to Nadal on Saturday.
Shouldn't read too much into those matches, as they are exhibitions and they don't count. They were playing all out.
$15 love.
He's got to test his nerve now, Goffin. He'll be aware of Verdasco's frailties the last couple of years of maybe not playing his best tennis, crucial stages. So for Goffin, he's just got to batten down the hatches, say, okay, can you close it out?
He was past the centre mark, Verdasco, then, hitting a forehand. He must have moved 10, 12 feet to his right to get to that forehand.
He can do that because he knows that he's not going to hit a big second serve, and it's always a second serve that is predictable. It's going to be to the backhand.
In bad position for that one. Something else that I was impressed with when I was courtside watching Verdasco yesterday is his physical condition. He's 33, but he looks fit as a fiddle. He's a fantastic athlete. And he's battling an opponent playing well. He's battling some demons, I think, at the moment too. In his own head is David Goffin. 2 points from victories, Verdasco.
Well, I'm sure he feels pummeled. Yeah, he's been on the ropes, hasn't he?
Verdasco was just bunting the ball back there, asking the questions of Goffin, and took courage to finish it off.
There was a good move forward because he didn't stop as he, after he hit the approach, he just continued to make the move forward, got close to the net. There of his game that's developing.
See, that time, because Verdasco wants to run round his backhand every chance he gets, Goffin on that second serve went out wide, but because he doesn't have the pace, doesn't have the kick, Verdasco had enough time to check and get there to hit a good forehand. It's a real conundrum, isn't it? One of the lowest lobs we'll see this week, but what a gem.
Advantage, Verdasco.
Magnificent racking head control here from Fernando, brushing up the back of the ball.
And Goffin is facing a match point. He's got to get it to the backhand somehow.
I mean, you can scarcely believe it, the amount of magical forehands he's made in this match, that he missed that particular one.
That was a little set up for him.
Probably surprised, actually, he went line and not cross. because by going cross he would have also got it to the feet of Goffin. That's classy.
And just see the difference when that Goffin serve gets to the Verdasco backhand. You could learn a lot from watching this, kids.
Okay,
That was interesting this time. The double bluff on the serve, and it
New balls, please.
gets him out of a very tricky situation, but Fernando buildings in Doha. That one's known as the Zigzag Tower. Speaks for itself, doesn't it? Well, there hasn't been any zigzagging from Fernando Verdasco on his way to this point, as he is serving for the match against David Goffin, and to help him, new balls.
And 83% of the time he's gone down the middle, first point of the game. Just the one serve out wide. Magnificent tennis. Started with the first shot of the rally. Yes, he went down the middle, but he took a little bit of pace off, and maybe just feeling the pressure wasn't as convincing with the forehand, Verdasco, and that allowed Goffin to take control, and that's the perfect start for him.
Love 30.
Uh-oh.
Well, this is what Barry and Nick have been half expecting. Potentially a bad game coming from Verdasco at a crucial time.
And he's also a carryover from the last game because he had the match point, he had the forehand, he had the match on his racket, so had a little bit of time to stew over what could have been.
Oh, what a point from the Spaniard. If he is feeling nerves, serving for the match, didn't show it there.
Well, this has been a real feature of the match. Trading, and then having the class to be able to change direction, and his coach Triol knows the importance of that point.
Sometimes when you are nervous, you tend to tense up a little bit. We've seen such a relaxed, flowing arm, haven't we, on that forehand? Not so there, and 2 breakback points for Goffin. Oh, he's made it! Verdasco challenging this, but we are right along that line, and I can't believe this is going to be changed as a call after Hawkeye. What a point.
No, I'm with you, Dan. I think this is smack on the line, and what an incredible shot this is from Goffin. Magnificent, and how quickly did he cut inside the court. I mean, that was a good slice. We've seen him out. Success he's had with the slice today, Verdasco.
High part of the net. Ball skidding through low. Such an important point in game. Brilliant.
Mentally it's been strong, isn't it? Because he has been battered at times, Goffin, not because he's necessarily played badly, but just took his chance in that last game.
from Verdasco, straight back at you. And as far as the Spaniard is concerned, he shouldn't feel as if he gave that away. That service game, yes, it wasn't a great game, but okay, we're just back on serve here.
It certainly wasn't a bad game, was it?
Love 30.
I wouldn't say so. No.
Yeah, first point, a little tentative. Well, he's human. I mean, this is on the verge of one of the best wins he's had in the last year or so. Remember, coming into this match, only 2 wins last year against top 20 players. Verdasco.
Out.
15-30.
And
15-14.
when you suffer the disappointment, any kind of disappointment on the tennis court, what you look for from these professional players is how they react, Barry.
Yeah.